Good morning guys, and welcome to the third and final day in Panama City. We've come down to Panama Viejo, which is the archaeological site of the ancient city of Panama. So it's different to the old town, which is alive and kicking. This is all archaeological ruins. So we're going to go and explore some of this. There's meant to be a museum that you can walk around, and if you've got a student card it's $5 to get in, otherwise it's $15 entrance, which I would never pay, but luckily I've got an old student card that managed to get me in for $5. So I wouldn't recommend it unless you've got a student card. But we haven't even looked around it yet, so it might be amazing and worth the $15. Let's go and check it out. So these ruins are a convent which dates back to the 16th century. Originally built in wood in the 16th century and then finished off in the early 1600s in stone. Really quite cool archaeological ruins. So the rain started coming down in its absolute torrents, and as you can see in that direction, you can't really see much of anything because the rain is so heavy. But we managed to get on a little kind of bus thing that takes you from the entrance to the main archaeological site, and there's a cool museum here. So we're going to walk around the museum, learn more about Panama's history and about the history of Panama Viejo, which was actually the first city on the Pacific side of Panama that was formed by the Spanish in 1519, which was the founding of Panama City. Super interesting. Gonna go and look around the museum and find out a little bit more. In the meantime, that is a quick view of the rain and some of the ancient ruins that you can actually climb, but we've got to wait out for the rain and then we can show you around some more of the ruins. Let's check out the museum first. Interestingly, the Spanish came to Panama between 1515 and 1519, and the first Spaniard to arrive in Panama City, or Panama Viejo, and then they formed Panama City from there. Interestingly enough, King Ferdinand of Spain pretty much told anyone that was coming to Panama to instruct them to follow Catholicism and obey the king's rule in Spain, and the natives had to abide by that, otherwise they were conquered and killed. So a lot of the natives just laughed, and then the Spanish conquered and killed them. Super interesting museum, really interesting to find out more about how Panama was formed and how the Spaniards came in and just tore the place apart. There's loads of ancient relics in here that we can have a look at as well. So let's see what else we can find out about the formation of Panama. So this is a reconstruction of what Panama Viejo would look like in the 17th century. So you can see right in the middle there is the Plaza Mayor, which is the plaza right outside the museum that we'll go and see in a minute. So this is really cool that this is exactly what it would have looked like kind of 500 years ago. We just finished up at the museum, which was incredibly interesting, all about the history of Panama Viejo, how it was the ancient capital and the old Panama City, the original Panama City. It was then ransacked by pirates led by a Welsh guy called Captain Morgan, weirdly enough, and he ransacked Panama Viejo, and then Panama Viejo relocated and Panama City moved to where Panama City is now located. Super interesting history, really cool to learn about the museum. We're now going to climb this massive tower that's behind me. So this tower, which is incredibly windy out here, is the old cathedral, and this is the old Plaza de Mayor, so the main plaza, and you can climb the tower. So let's go and climb it and see what happens. Here we are at the top of the cathedral, and there are amazing views up here. Let's check out some of the views over the city, the coast, countryside. It's amazing up here. So we just finished up at the top of the cathedral, which is 110 steps up there. Amazing views over the city. And now we can wander around some of the archaeological ruins on the way back to the entrance. Check out how cool some of these trees are. These trees are amazing. And it's right surrounded with archaeological ruins. How cool. We've just finished up walking around the ruins of Panama Viejo, and it is stunning. Really cool archaeological ruins, and well worth the $5 entrance fee, which we got as students. Amazing to learn about the history of Panama City, about the history of Panama Viejo and how it was formed in the 1500s, and then the history of it from there to when it got ransacked in the 17th century. Amazing architectural, colonial ruins, and just really interesting to walk around. That's going to be it from Panama Viejo, and onwards to whatever I'm doing next in Panama City on this final day here. Guys, so after finishing up in the ruins this afternoon, went back to the hostel and chilled out for a while, then decided I thought I'd get out of Panama City and head to David on our way to Boquete. So Boquete is this small little town in the middle of the mountains, and it's meant to be really beautiful. So I've come down to Albert Mall to get my ticket. With some incredible Spanish on my part, I must admit, I managed to get my ticket, and I'm on the bus at 11 PM, which is a night bus to David. Gets me into David around 6, 7 AM, and then from David I can get another bus to Boquete, and then I should be in Boquete by about 9 AM. So on the journey, let's check out what these night buses are like. This is Albert Mall, and this is exactly where you get your bus tickets from, and there's bus tickets going all over Panama, Costa Rica and further afield. So it's pretty easy to get a bus ticket as long as you know a little bit of Spanish. Un poco español. Now let's get on the night bus and get over to David and then to Boquete. So that was a fairly interesting bus ride. The bus ride from Panama City to David was fairly comfortable. $18.50 for the overnight bus, which obviously saves you on a night's accommodation, which was pretty handy. And we got in at about 5 AM, then jumped onto a local bus, which you will see now, and that was $1.75 to get me to Boquete, but I'm staying in a hostel that is outside of Boquete. So I kind of just asked them to drop me off at the side of the road, and now I'm walking to try and find where my hostel is, somewhere along this main road. So I guess that's going to be it for today, guys. It's now 6 AM on the following morning, so let's finish it there. Hit the video, hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe to follow all of the crazy adventures around Central America, and until tomorrow, guys, peace out.